Hello friend, my name is Doombib and today we're going to be talking about Tokyo Ghoul. Tokyo Ghoul follows the story of Ken Kaneki, a really mediocre dude that goes on a date with a hot chick named Rize and she kills him. Well, not exactly. She essentially kills him. She hurts him to the point where his body ceases to function and then she accidentally gets herself killed, so then this super irresponsible doctor is like, hey, let's take this random person's organs and put them inside of this dying dude to save him. Because it's not like HIV is a thing or anything. So once the organ transplant is done, of course, Rize was a ghoul, so this essentially turns Ken into a half-human, half-ghoul. And he doesn't take well to the transition initially because, well, he doesn't want to murder people and then gobble them up. But then there's the government being all like, hey, ghouls eat other people, so we need to kill them all. And, that's going on, and then he goes all Prince of Bel-Air, where his life gets flipped upside down. Or I think the song goes something like that. Oh, this opening. Let's start with the song. It's called Unravel by Toshike Sigure, and it starts out soft and slow with a nice sort of whispering singing going on before building up to a very catchy chorus. In terms of the visuals, I really like how it progressed with the song. The beginning was a little bland with the main folk just standing in a big, windy, open space, but it picked up pretty quickly, and the way that they angled everything to display the characters almost gave me a sort of Atlas intro sort of feel. And then the chorus hit and Rize's Kagune appeared. Girl, I was sold. It took a nice artistic twist and I really like how it turned out. The closing song is kind of unique. It's a laid-back, relaxed song titled Saints by People in the Box, and it gives you a sort of sense of closure for the end of each episode. But stills are boring. They really are. I love the watercolor concept style to the images, but I can't appreciate a closing sequence that is composed of what entirely looks like manga illustrations. I don't even fucking know how to start with the writing for this anime. At first I was like, oh, it's a cool story about survival versus what is morally right, but then it got really boring. Have I ever mentioned how I really disdain plain and boring main characters that have no redeeming qualities whatsoever? Because I do. Ken is a boring, good-for-nothing protagonist that is supposed to be made cool by becoming a ghoul, but it just... Honestly, the only thing I liked about him was how Rize was a permanent part of him both mentally and physically. Beyond that, though, there was nothing interesting about these characters. They just kept lobbing more and more at you and then killed some of them off before you had a chance to give a shit about them. And then even the characters that they didn't kill off still didn't get any development whatsoever besides, like, 2 people who weren't even really important to the story. They got, like, 2 episodes where they were like, oh, here's our backstory, here's why we act the way we do, because we're kind of assholes. And it's like, okay, why do I care? My friend Shinto Genesis from the Otaku said that they didn't even make it to being 2-dimensional characters, and honestly, he was so right. Archetypal characters usually don't bother me, but this entire cast was just blander than those little crackers you get from Catholic Mass. Another thing that really bothered me is how these ghouls can take an intense amount of damage without dying. And according to the creators, people have hundreds of gallons of blood inside of their bodies that just spurt out if we get a paper cut. I get this is a fantasy anime or whatever, and the ghouls have regenerative powers, but they're still having their organs punched out, spines broken, limbs ripped off, and then they just take a nibble off of someone's shoulders and they're like, don't worry bro, I got this. Like, no, that's fucking stupid. And then I don't understand what's going on with the masks. I mean, only ghouls wear these masks, and the masks are there to hide their ghouliness, and it's like, what is the freaking point? I mean, look at Kaneki's. That's not freaking subtle at all. Like, Toka's I can kind of understand just because it's a bunny. But, I mean, Ken's doesn't make sense, and I don't understand the concept behind the masks. Someone explain this to me. It's like they're trying to hide their ghouliness by being really, really conspicuous. And don't even get me started on that ending. There are 3 good episodes in this entire season, and it's episode 1, episode 11, and episode 12. And episode 12 was just a go read the manga ending. Like, okay, thanks, I guess. character design is pretty nice though, I have to give it that much. I like how everyone's different, and while the cast isn't the most unique in terms of design, I'm not really looking for like super unique characters, so it's kind of like whatever. What I really hated though is how the backgrounds contrasted against the characters. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like it's just the tackiest thing ever when you've got super detailed backgrounds and then basic bitch characters. Not because I dislike one or the other, but because they just don't mesh well, they don't match, and things that don't match really bother me a lot. If you have really nice 3D rooms and streets, it makes these cartoon characters just look like flat cartoon characters. They just look like drawings. Also, the amount of censoring in this anime is really ridiculous. I get that Japan has these ass backwards laws about what you can see in public and what you can't see in public, but this got really stupid. If the colors weren't being inverted, the entire screen was being blacked out, or there was a white light shining so it was like blinding out whatever gore it was supposed to be hiding, which just looked really tacky and really bad. There are a ton of ways to censor something, and the creators just got really lazy. I mean, they could have used the mosaics, they could have used like panning to a different angle, but no. They chose just blocking out the entire screen because why put extra work into an anime that already sucks, I guess? This was another super hyped up anime that I was really excited to watch. One of my friends damn near sent severed horse heads to my house just to scare me into watching it. He vouched for it that much. But it just wasn't good. The characters were flat, the writing was boring, the design needed work. And like I said, I don't intend on watching season 2 unless you guys actually want me to review it, just because I don't want to sit through another 12 episodes of this shit. Anyways, those are my thoughts on Tokyo Ghoul. Have you seen it? Did you love it? Are you currently engaging in your keyboard warrior powers to flame me or whatever because I just like shat all over your favorite anime? Or maybe you just don't care. Maybe you weren't a fan of it. Let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, happy unbirthday, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye! Alright, so banana!
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
That's the first thing that was